So, Keaton, there is one interesting thing that has happened recently, which everybody is aware of. It has been talked about a lot. So, I'll just set up the context for it. So, first of all, Trump basically went mad after India. A lot of tweets happened wherein the talks related to tariff happened, but that maybe, I think, in my personal view, didn't go the Trump way,
Absolutely.
right? India was able to manage it better. Credit to the policymakers, the government, and everybody. Then the sudden news comes, which was really, really unexpected, was the H-1B visa fee. There were a lot of complications around it, but US government has cleared out that it's for the fresh
Yeah.
applications that will go in, not for the existing holders. Uh, but since then, a lot of arguments have started. A lot of people are saying that it could be really good for India. Maybe India can take advantage of it. What is your personal opinion on that? Why is Trump doing this? Is it also a retaliatory factor that maybe the tariff thing didn't go his way? He wants to bring back India at the negotiating table. What do you make of it?
I think it is definitely to do with tariffs and why this is probably used as another tactic to put a lot of pressure on India. Because,
Right,
like you rightly said, India has been doing all the right things which are not right for Trump, right?
right,
It is so evident that Trump is significantly against China, and in spite of Chinese being our rivals, and all of us know, and we don't have to talk about it, I think Modi ji went ahead, attended a summit, did so many discussions. Ambassadors of both countries met, trying
right,
to strike a deal. I don't really think this is going down very well for Trump. And not just this, if you slightly take a step back, I think the Japan Prime Minister had to resign because
right.
of so much of pressure saying that you've signed a deal with the US,
Hmm,
which made no sense for Japan. So I
right,
think this entire way with which tariffs are handled by Trump are kind of backfiring, and he does not have any other place to go, and
right,
probably is going all in to make sure that the pressure tactics, in whichever way it can works, because all of us know that close to 70% of the H1B visas are Indians,
yeah, right,
right? And I will tell you why this is a pressure tactic, because it is so clear that when the first video came out,
right,
when the signing was happening, 3 to 5 times the speaker made a comment saying that the 1 lakh a year is annual,
right.
right?
Hmm,
Now, either you are telling me that somebody of this high regards in the US
hmm,
ecosystem who's talking that the press did not know what was signed,
right.
or probably you were doing it
Just
uh,
to create the
just to create the
high,
noise, right?
yeah. Hmm,
So I think it's, at least the way I look at it, it's very clear that this is a pressure tactic. Look, this is a very evolving situation, but I'll tell you what I generally make of it. So I was looking at some financials and some data of the listed companies. Over the last 10 years, the dependency on H1B visa has gone down significantly. I'll give
right,
you an industry average. Today, roughly 20 odd percent of the workforce of the Indian IT company is based out of US.
right,
Within that 20%, another 20% is H1B,
right.
which means at the industry level and at
Hmm,
the total employment level in the IT space, roughly 3% or 4% of the total IT population is actually an H1B
hmm,
visa category people.
right,
Look at the 5 year, very specifically, the last 5 years, H1B visa new applications have gone down by 46%.
right.
So I think it's a very clear trend
Hmm,
from the Indian IT setup that they know something like this is going to happen, and they've already started making sure that it does not end up
right,
impacting them.
right,
But I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is that uh, clients would obviously ask for on-site work,
right,
right? Because if that was not the case, why would these guys have
right.
on-site people, which is costing them much more,
Hmm,
right? So what can happen next, if at all this significantly becomes an impact? And I was reading somewhere, though I'm not an expert at it, but I was reading that this actually can be challenged in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court can kind of cancel
right,
this
right.
this thing that was passed.
Hmm,
If that's done, then the conversation is over. But let's say if this is still not done, then the objective is very simple, that this will definitely go down. I
hmm,
mean, onshoring of people will go down, because 100,000 one time for every visa application is a lot of money, right? You're talking about billions of dollars going out. Uh, you might as well, as an IT company, hire locally people and go down on your margins.
Right.
So there are two things that can happen. Either the top line will come down, and the assumption is that in FY27, when this is going to be impacted, because in 26 the filing is already done. So FY27 is where this is going to get impacted. And in FY27, the expectation was that the top line growth will be roughly 5%, which is now expected to be 4%. So idea is that probably the top line will get hit by 1%, and the bottom line can get hit by anywhere between 0.5 to 1.5%. That's the larger impact that the analyst community, or all the reading that I've done so far and whatever little I understand in this space, I think is the output. But what this does is pushes the Indian IT companies significantly to start reevaluating the business model. While we are recording this, probably a month back, we saw how Infosys did one of the largest buybacks of 18,000 crore rupees.
Right.
And the question actually is that when, as an IT company, you have 18,000 crore rupees worth of cash, why don't you put that in R&D?
Right.
Why don't you buy some smaller companies and start moving into the space that probably is more futuristic?
Right.
When everybody in the US is working on building products, we are still stuck to services in spite of having thousands of crores available in cash in the bank account. And is this really the best use of buying back? I mean, you are making your shareholders happy at this point in time, but what happens 10 years later when probably services as a business does not exist at all? I think I'm also taking a step back and going 10 years back when Mr. Vishal, who was the then CMD or somebody of Infosys, if I'm not wrong, and in one of the meetings, he did make a mention that, Infosys should end up spending on R&D and move towards AI. And he was absolutely correct now that we look back 10 years, but he was asked to leave.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I think the problem with the Indian IT sector is that they want to stick to services and not move to products, in spite of having so much of money is available.
Right.
But one thing is for sure, that a lot of Indian students will now think twice before taking up an MS in the US, because the probability of them being able to absorb today or 5 years or 10 years later has significantly gone down. And in that context, a lot of Indians might, look at some other options, and hopefully they stay back in India and add to the Indian economy. But I don't really think that people who are already in the US are going to come back.
Yeah, right. So obviously the reverse brain drain from there isn't happening. But maybe what will possibly happen is that the people who had aspirations of going to US will most likely not go, because the risk to return or reward ratio will not make sense.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much, Kirtan. I think this was another very insightful one. It's a hot topic right now. So thank you for providing clarity to our viewers on this regard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.